Of the last few days of the Minneapolis fraud news cycle is that we are fighting complete morons here who are straight up telling us what they're doing. They're running fake child care centers in order to steal taxpayer dollars and enrich themselves and fund their own campaigns. And they do this openly, like when Tim Walz was running for vice president. A reminder that Democrats wanted to make this man the second most powerful person on earth. He just straight up said it. He just said, you know what, we need to make sure that more Somalis can get involved in the child care business, right?
Now, as far as childcare on this, you have to take it at both the supply and the demand side. You can't expect the most important people in our lives to take either our children or our parents to get paid the least amount of money. And we have to make it easier for folks to be able to get into that business.
Let's go. And it is a business for Tim Walz, obviously. They've uncovered billions of dollars in fraud in Minneapolis, and now they're uncovering some of the receipts as to how that money gets laundered into campaigns like Tim Walz's campaign. Tim Walz bragged about child care business in Minnesota during VP debate before $9 billion scandal came to light. So it's pretty obvious, and more importantly, the fraud has been out in the open for a long time, not only in the vice president's debate, but if you just call the numbers in the child care advertisements here on the outsides of the buildings, you would find that they direct to Tim Walz's office.
Guys, this is absolutely mind-blowing. So I was watching the most recent video by Nick Shirley exposing these daycare centers. Now, they're going daycare to daycare, and the next one that they go to is called Sweet Angel Childcare. This is where they show up to. And this is the business right here. Sweet Angel Childcare in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Now, listen to where this phone number goes to when you call this childcare center.
Thank you for contacting the Office of Governor Tim Walz and Lieutenant Governor Peggy Flanagan. Our office is located at 130 State Capitol at 75 Reverend.
It's Tim Walz's office. It's Tim Walz's office. So the fraud has been completely obvious, and it's in our faces now, and the Trump administration has to do something about it. And I spent my entire day yesterday calling Trump administration officials asking, what the hell are you doing about this? Like, the entire country is demanding action and demanding it now. And we're proud to say that there's been some action. Is it sufficient to satisfy the appetite for a bunch of door kickers to go in and to raid these places? I don't know. Let's watch. Homeland Security investigation. ICE are on the ground in Minneapolis right now conducting massive investigation on childcare and other rampant fraud. More coming, says Kristi Noem. Kristi Noem posting this video of agents talking to a Somali business owner in Minneapolis.
Say like other businesses that you partner with that you use for a service of maybe transportation or anything like that.
No, we provide usually parents they come like this, drop the kids, they go to us and then we take them.
Awesome. And who actually oversees the receipt of those documents?
I am glad that this is happening. Again, like I wanted raids, I wanted tactical gear, I wanted what they did on January 6th to us, frankly. I wanted what they did to Mar-a-Lago to happen to all of these businesses. But I am glad that at the very least there are investigations going on and they're asking questions. These videos are starting to circulate all around social media. Here's another one from DHS is on the ground in Minneapolis going door to door on suspected fraud sites. The American people deserve answers on how their taxpayer money is being used and arrests when abuse is found. Under the leadership of Secretary Noem, DHS is delivering results. You can see now they're here inside of a convenience store. But you need to start raiding the fake daycares, obviously kick in those doors and show that there are no children there and that these are empty buildings. I mean, ultimately, that's what people want, but this is good. Let me explain why. It's good because you need pressure. You need people to know that there is going to be a consequence when you commit massive fraud. Right now, there's no consequences for these people, and so the fraud continues, and it'll continue forever. If you don't investigate it, expose it, start asking questions, that makes every single business. Nobody wants an IRS audit, right? Nobody wants an IRS audit. So if you're going to start asking these questions and you're going to start like demanding receipts, then you're going to make people extremely nervous. This is something that always happens when the government starts asking questions. And so this just the action of having a federal agent show up at your business and start like being like, do you have other businesses here? Have you ever heard of these people? Have you ever done business with this individual? Or do you have receipts for this trucking company? Have you ever seen children here? These are critical questions that begin to like break the fraud. ICE, HSI agents are on the ground in Minneapolis in a massive investigation, swarm Minneapolis with agents. We heard that this was happening yesterday. On the ground, massive investigation, denaturalization, and deportation is what needs to happen next. This is something that was promised by Kash Patel yesterday. We heard from Kash Patel, Secretary Kelly Loeffler, who with the Small Business Association, who's in charge of a lot of these businesses, the Department of Labor, also as well, and hopefully something from RFK Jr., because he's in charge of Medicaid and Medicare, and that would be the Medicaid and Medicare fraud, be a huge part of this, right? And so that would be what a whole of government looks like here. Now, what Kash Patel said is that the FBI is on the ground and is ready to do raids themselves, and that there is a wholesale and full-scale investigation that's ongoing. What we heard from the Small Business Administration is that there is a full stop to all funding of small businesses in Minnesota. There's going to be no grants there. And what we heard from the Department of Labor is that they are doing a full-scale investigation themselves into unemployment fraud that's happening at scale in the state of Minnesota. And so, well, at the very least, people are looking. At the very least, you're going to start getting like a whole of government. Obviously, Stephen Miller, the vice president, and a lot of people are saying, what are you doing? What are you doing? Show me action. I mean, is it good enough for you? Is it good enough for me? No. I would love, again, to see dark of night federal raids, again, just like they did to us on January 6th. But we'll take it. Even Fox News here is calling and finding that none of these businesses are actually real. They don't have actual numbers. They're all fake. And so at the very least, we can get started, right? At the very least, get started in the exposing of this and get the ball rolling, and make this an example. Make this an example. This is the example, ladies and gentlemen. And nobody's taken the time to explain to me why there needs to be 100,000 Somalis in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Maybe we can go there next. Anyway, here's Fox News trying to call the businesses.
So this is Quality Learning Center. I meant to say Quality Learning Center. We've arrived to ABC Learning Center. All the windows are blacked out. I would like to check a child in the daycare. Why? Can I speak to a manager? I would like to see if I could bring little Joey, my son little Joey here. Is there a paperwork, or can I check out the daycare?
You got $2.66 million this year in funding, and $2.5 million last year. We're just wondering where the kids are.
Hello, we'd like to ask where the money's going.
Wow. You're right.
So
that
good.
was the old good journalism. By the way, Fox Digital reached out to that learning center to try and, get a statement from them. And apparently the number doesn't even work. So we did not get a response there.